What even are the competition penalties? They are competition illegal cubes. But if they ask me to scramble cubes and I mess up someone's world record, what do you mean by a WCA recognized competition?
These are some of the questions I had while I was preparing for my first competition. It can be confusing and even daunting because there are so many rules and so many technicalities at the same time. That's why in today's video, I will teach you every single thing you need to know to excel at your first Rubik's Cube competition. Now, there will be timestamps in the description where we'll be answering these questions. So if you would like the answer to only, let's say, one specific question, you can skip right to it. But then I do recommend you watch the entire video because I do need the watch time to monetize my channel. Because I'm sure it will give you plentiful of confidence to truly excel at your first Rubik's Cube competition. So without further ado, let's get into it. In general, there are two types of competitions: WCA recognized competitions and non-WCA recognized competitions. Competitions recognized by the WCA or the World Cube Association have internationally standardized rules and regulations, and they are run by officially trained and recognized delegates. That way, you are nearly guaranteed 100% fair competing experience and competent event planning on the end of the organizers. On top of that, you are more likely to meet famous speedcubers at WCA competitions. This is because all the records that I do, be it national, world record or a continental record, are only recognized when they perform it at a WCA recognized competition. And even better, all the solves you do at a WCA competition are permanently recorded in the World Cubing Association website, so you can show off your official records to your friends anytime and anywhere just by searching up your name on the website. On the flip side, we have non-WCA recognized competitions. I like to call this for fun competitions because none of the solves you do on these competitions are recognized on national or international leaderboards. However, don't let that discourage you from joining such competitions because they offer prizes, lucky draws, and an overall amazing competing experience for novice and beginner speedcubers alike. So, a while before your scheduled competing time, the MC will announce where you have to collect your personal scorecard. For that reason, it's a very good idea to be at the competition venue around 15 minutes before you are to compete in an event. Now, after you get your personal scorecard, you are to go to the waiting area to line up in order to enter the competing area. Now, in my experience, more often times than not, this waiting area is behind a makeshift wall or barrier that is close to the competing area, so you can look out for that. Now, if competition day rolls around and you have no idea where to go, you can just follow the rest of the people who just got their scorecards, or you can just ask around. Now, when you enter the waiting area, you can expect your cube to be briefly inspected just to make sure that it's legal. Now, when you reach the front of the line, you'll be instructed to go to a vacant table in the competing area, and that is where the fun begins. There you are to do 5 solves. Now, your average time will be calculated by first taking out the fastest and the slowest solves, and then the mean of the remaining 3 times will be calculated. Now, if you are at a WCA recognized event, you can go to the WCA live page on their website to check your average, your ranking, and whether or not you qualify to enter the following rounds. Normally, the event organizers will have a QR code leading to the WCA live page plastered all around the event. The thing I worried about the most when preparing for my first competition was to be chosen as a non-competitor role, that is the scrambler, the judge, or theoretically the runner, and having absolutely no idea what to do. But it's okay, now I'm going to make it all clear for you, okay? So first and foremost, if it's your first time competing, there is a 0% chance that you'll be chosen as a scrambler, so you do not have to worry about that. And on the other hand, most relatively well-planned events will avoid having first-timers be a judge, so you don't have to be worried about that either. Now, in the case where some event has an unexpected deficiency of judges, or if the competition planning was absolute dog shit and it relies completely on impromptu volunteer judges, which I hope you don't meet, then the MC will ask for volunteer judges. Now, I do not recommend you volunteer unless you have a pretty much concrete idea on what you need to do. But don't worry, I'll teach that later on in the video, so don't to worry about that. And now, notice when I said theoretically, there was a role called the runner. This is because although such a role does exist, so I've heard, in all the competitions I've been to, I've never seen any specialized runners. This is because in competitions that have, let's say, 100 to 200 competitors, we struggle enough to fill in all the position of the judges, not to mention having additional runners for every few tables. So due to the lack of manpower, you will not have specialized runners unless you're in like a really big competition. But in the case where you do get chosen as a runner in a big competition, that is, I will teach you what to do. So basically, this guy right here is the competitor. When he finishes a solve and he solves the cube completely, his judge will give it to you along with a few other things. You'll get the cube cover, the cube which you will put inside the cover, and also a scoring sheet which you put in the box like so. And then you are to take this box and give it to the scrambler over here. Now what the scrambler will do is they'll scramble the cube based on the scrambling sheets, and then when they're done, they'll give it back to you. Now when you get back the cube, the scoring sheet and stuff, remember to take the scoring sheet and cover the cube so that the competitor cannot see it, and then hand the entire cube cover back to the same judge that gave you the cube. And that's essentially the job of runner. Oops, would you look at that? We just ran out of time. That means we'll have to do a part 2 for this video. Plan out your videos properly next time? Hey, what do you mean? I do plan out my videos. I'm reading from a script. Explain my upload schedule.